Welcome everybody. Glad to have everybody here this morning. So glad that the weather allows us to have our coffee in person. I know we have people that are joining us. We welcome them. I'm Susan and Neil Gaye from the Chamber. Glad you're here. First off, I want to thank sponsor us with help. And I would also give you were going to women roles. Adam and Shannon, tell us about those. Our cafe. From the cafe, so we appreciate that. Our responsibility to Cumulus Radio. So, just a few things to know that everybody, if you are joining us on Zoom, you're muted. We all kind of know how this works. Just unmute yourself when you want to speak when we do introductions. But other than that, you keep it quiet. It doesn't disrupt the meeting. And don't record anything without permission. So let's go around the room and do introduction. You want to start over there, Stephanie?
Sure.
Your name, your business?
Sure. Morning, Stephanie Lehman, CNS Employment Solutions.
John Schulte with Schulte's Fresh Foods.
Katrina Timmons, Central Bank, and board member of Red Slipper Warrior Project.
Michael Lowe, First Mid Bank and Trust Mortgage.
Jamie Meyer, commercial.
Shelby Brown, intermediate.
Yeah, based on others. Bob Fenimore, retired.
President Prosciutto, Farmers Insurance, and Treasurer for President of the Warrior Project. Bradley Thorne, the Voice of America.
Hi, everyone. This is Salter, Image Marketing.
Frank Bryson, EV Rotary. Gary Plummer with the Chamber.
Jack Cohen Associates.
Greg Callahan with the Township. Emilio Juarez with the Men's Professional Division.
Ken Bureau with Central Bank, and I think I'm vice chair of the chamber, so this year my boss is excited.
I'm Jana Murillo with Assistant Policy Areas Hospital.
Adam Moss with Assistant Health Centers.
Good big round chamber staff. Okay, so again, I'm Missouri, chair of your chamber, so you have to listen to me this morning.
And then on the outside, and Darcy. So Julie, you want to go ahead?
I am Julie from the News Tribune.
Jay Moore on Chamber staff.
Darcy.
Cameron Gerber with the News Tribune.
Darcy Crane, American Cancer Society. So you did miss out. No.
Bob Wilbur, Harvard Class. Rudy Bain, State Rep, and Todd Carl,
Full guy with the Capital City Job Center.
Roger Grizzly, Department of Higher Education, Workforce Development. Jeff Holler, City of Jefferson.
Ashley Penny, Darcy City Chamber.
Okay. And anybody that's joining us on Zoom, if you want to unmute and introduce yourself.
Good morning, Stu Murphy, retired.
Good morning, Courtney Byer with the Central Missouri Foster Care and Adoption Association.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. This is Beth Cowgill with Liberty Family Medicine.
Sorry about that. Good morning. My name is Aubrey Kirschmar, and I'm with Ameren, Missouri.
Good morning, Paula Bennett with CNS Employment Solutions.
Good morning, Tanika Nevels with Maximus.
Good morning, Tyler Schwartz, Conservation Federation of Missouri.
Anybody else before we move on? Okay, all right. I do want to welcome any new members that we have here today or are joining us. We have a great list of new members. Oh, a couple people, we just introduced ourselves. If you want to, Jeff, you want to introduce yourself, your name?
Hi, Jeff and I. Good to see you guys.
Okay. And you're missing an introduction.
Joan Wilkes, Central Bank, YP, Professional Development Coach.
Introduction, Jay.
Hi, everybody. Ashley Varner,
Okay, all right. Okay, well, we'll call your attention to our newer members, Whit Crenshaw, Fleet Feet, Jefferson City, Canastega Quarters, Great River Engineering, Kids Unlimited Preschool, Landmark Lawn Care, Live Victorious Coaching, Maximus, which I think is joining us online. Papa's Pizzeria and Hub, Specialty Quilts and Fabrics, Pros Foundation, Signature Adjustment Group, Smithmore, and Wildfire Lane. You missed my introduction. You want to go ahead and read? Yeah.
Good morning, everyone.
well, he's regarding new shoe.
Yeah, good. All right. And now I'm gonna turn it over to President Adam, who are on tax.
So, here in a moment, we're gonna play you all a video that's gonna be introducing our newly expanded multi-specialty clinic. That's on the first floor there at the hospital. So, we can go ahead and play that video. Go to our job now.
How about a sneak peek? SSM Health Medical Group is proud to announce the opening of the recently expanded multi-specialty clinic in the Health Plaza at St. Mary's Hospital. The clinic provides an array of specialty care in one space. Patient experience was very important in the development of the space, which does include in-clinic X-ray. In very close proximity are additional diagnostic modalities available if needed, as well as preoperative care and postoperative care. Located on the first floor of the Health Plaza, specialties include general surgery with Dr. Andrew Karanis, Dr. Thomas Ryan with orthopedic surgery, spine surgery with Dr. Jeff Lehman and physician assistant Kevin Huffman. It also includes our pulmonary specialist, Doctors Jarboe, Kennedy, and Sukia, and nurse practitioner Ashley Hedrick. We're very excited about the opening of the multi-specialty clinic and about becoming your trusted home for expert specialty care. Come see us.
So just real quick, as you can see,
How about a sneak peek?
there is a wide range of specialists that are going to be housed in that space. The three specifically that we would like to call out were our new general surgeon, which is Dr. Andrew Karanis. He came to us here just last October. He actually came to us from DePaul, SSM Health DePaul in St. Louis, where he was a trauma surgeon and held a lot of the leadership roles at that hospital. So we're really happy that he was able to come and be part of the St. Mary's family here. The other one there was Dr. Ryan, which he's been around been around for almost a year now. And his father actually did the very first joint replacement at St. Mary's Hospital here, which was kind of this neat thing that made him, kind of, he really wanted to come back to that. Not letting him get out of that. Oh, just keep watching, we'll keep watching. It's over here.
It's a great video. Keep clicking, it is earlier.
There it goes. And last one, just real quick, was Dr. Jeff Lehman, which he's been pretty stable in this community for a while. But the big news with him is we and his team actually recently got the full seal approval from the Joint Commission, which is a let's just call it an organization that really shows the let's see what's a good way to put this.
It's the highest level of quality you can get, and we're the only one who's doing it now.
Yeah, so that's kind of the new thing with Dr. Jeffrey. And so anyways, I just want to highlight that. You'll also see in front of you is an invitation. We are actually having a ribbon cutting at the end of the month on January 30th. All are welcome to attend. And just because it's obvious that you're meant to watch the video several times, the QR code right there will send you the video you might have to watch again and feel a little more feel the new space. But please come, there'll be refreshments and tours. We'll be happy to show you the new space.
And we will be giving out promo items there, and it's an umbrella, you can use it today.
Speaking of promo items, you want to give away your door prize now? Sure. What, and up here, thank you to Janet and Adam, get up. And there's the bag. Everybody got their name in the bag?
And the items, the only promo item is the umbrella. The rest of them are all from our gift shop. So if you've not shopped at our gift shop, they did a really great job. So little hidden secret there.
Even the bag is some of those dry bags, just put in like a high end. So even though, don't throw away the bag, I guess is what I'm saying. So the ball comes there.
Oh, it's cheap.
Dan Basil.
Yeah.
Well, starting to need your Dan.
Oh, so Canada shop.
Oh, that's okay. That means it's already rolled down. Good, okay.
This too.
Yeah, you did that.
I want to do that then.
We appreciate your sponsorship and look forward to the ribbon cutting and a little reminder, anyone else, when new true ribbon cutting is time, that you're ready to go. Brandon and I have been going back and forth on ribbon cutting, but I remind you, ribbon cutting, if you're looking at facility or expansion or a new location, tell us, love to have ribbon cutting, look forward to that ribbon cutting. Friday coffee sponsor, Rochelle's here, we appreciate you partnering with us on this sponsorship. We promote our sponsors to our members before and give them this opportunity. You might let them know a little bit what Cumulus does for the sponsors.
Sure, we have 7 radio stations in the market. We talk to close to 200,000 people each week. We say, Aaron, you guys will have 25 complimentary ads. If you'd like to run on anything that you guys want to do, we'll craft your radio ad and then we'll go out on our own. So it's a nice partnership we've had with the chamber. It's really nice to have a lot of clients, but this has been a good starting point for them.
Okay. So before we get on to our program today, I'm going to make a couple quick announcements about some other networking opportunities that you can participate in. Friday coffees are a morning networking opportunity, but we always have what we call chamber connections. So the afternoon from 4 until 5:30 is at a chamber member restaurant or bar, and then we have a co-sponsor. So you can see that it's at Papos. We're excited about that. Welcome them to our community. They're new chamber members, and Bold Extreme by MediaCom is their co-sponsor. So from 4 to 5:30, bring your business cards. It's a great time for you to network, and if you haven't been to Papos yet, be there. Another event that I hope that you're attending, if you haven't already registered, registrations are coming in really great for this 131st annual meeting. We are going to recognize our past chairman, Andy, fact, he was a 2023 chairman. So he's going to do a recap of the year, and then we're going to recognize our board members that are retiring, and also give away the chairman's award. And then Gaye is going to be introduced as the 2024 chair, outlines the goals there. So it's at Windstone Event Center. It's a luncheon at 11:30 on the 23rd. So you can register for that. It should be a great event. We're also going to announce and introduce the chairs that are going to be leading our different programs and committee for 2024. So appreciate the opportunity. An event that's coming up, it's a new event that we have, a membership mixer. This is in lieu of our membership meeting. The purpose is for you to get to know other chamber members, network, and learn about their products and services. So our member mixer is chamber games and strikers. So it's games that you can do at strikers, bowling tournament, blackjack, the simulated golf. So you register to be there, you network, you'll get raffle tickets, and then the prizes that you win are also chamber member products and services. So it's a great way that you can participate and be there and network. If you like to play games or register your bowling team, or if you want to be a sponsor, or if you want to donate a prize. So if you would like to give away a gift card to your business or products and services that you promote, this is all about members. It's the 29th from 4 till 8 at Strikers. And the schedule there is the games will be going on from 4 until 7, the bowling from 4 until 6, because it's 2 games. And then the raffle prize is 7 to 8. So the events from 4 to 8, you can participate in all during that tournament. We have player passes are $25 that include food and 2 drink tickets, and then $100 in the raffle tickets or casino chips if you choose to use them for that. And then you can also do an office pack of 5 for 100. So excited about this event. There's a lot going on. We are a planning committee. We're going to start having our first official planning committee meeting. The Chamber Champions Membership Committee kind of put this together. But if you want to join that committee, we're going to start meeting next Wednesday. So let me know. I'd love to have more people involved. So today's program, I'm going to turn over to Gary because he can introduce.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's my pleasure to introduce the new chair of the That's Gaye Suggett. I I've known Gaye, for about 35 years. She had been working with Amber now for 36, and I had the good fortune of working with her when I was here, my first tenure back in the late 80s through the late 90s. And this is her second round on the Chamber Board of Directors. She did it once before, came back a couple of years ago to represent Amber on the board, and was invited to go through the chairs and lead the organization this year. And I think we're very fortunate for that. You'll know that when she comments on some of her priorities for the coming year, a lot of them are a new perspective on existing programs, but there's a lot of things that we continue to do every year that are very important to the chamber. She's gonna, I think, this morning focus on some of the things that are a little bit new and fresh. And so I hope you'll enjoy my remarks, and we'll turn it over to you, Gaye.
Thank you, Gary, and thank you guys for being here this morning. I really appreciate it. You know, we've got a tremendous chamber, we really do. And I follow some great leaders. Gary was talking about our years together. Come on now, I'm only 40, right? So I was a baby when I started, right? So, you know, time goes very quickly, it goes very quickly. So, let's get that picture off. You guys hear how I did? Because I tend to dance a little bit. And so this way, if I'm sitting, I'm kind of staying in one spot. I'm not like all over. So I'm gonna sit if you're good with that. So I wanted to talk a little bit about, you know, our great chamber and our great community. You know, we've had a lot of strong leaders that have been here before us, and we will have more after me, obviously. And so, you know, we've got a great community. We've got a great community, and we've got a great chamber. But we've got to keep looking at what we can do to make this chamber and this community even greater. So we've got so many great members. The other thing we have to look at is how we continue to add that value to our members, and what we can do moving forward, and make sure that our members are getting that value, that they can get involved in the chamber, and that we stay strong as a chamber. So I think that's so very important. We've got a great chamber strategic plan in place. That gives us those bones, right? That gives us those bones so that we can continue to stay on the same path. We don't come in like with a new chair, we come in and change everything. That's not what it's about doing. We've got to make sure that we're keeping that same path. We've got that plan in place, but maybe tweak it, like Gary said, put it in perspective, do a few different things that we need to, and look at things maybe a little bit different as we move forward, as our community changes, as our chamber changes. So I think that's what's so very important. So I want to talk a little bit about our chamber strategic plan and what that means and how that does add value. How that does add value to us as the chamber as members. So the first one is provide valuable services to our small business. I mean, the majority of our chamber are businesses that are less than 50 employees. So in retrospect, when you look at that, most of us, I'm from Amber, Missouri, so I'm not a small business, but most of us are small businesses, right? And so how can we add value to those small businesses? And how can we make for sure that you guys as small businesses are succeeding? Because as a small business, I mean, I can only imagine. There's so many challenges that you're up against. There's things that maybe you'd like to talk to others about. And so if you look at that small business network, that's where small businesses can come together and discuss those challenges and those successes. Learn from each other, how they can get help maybe, with things that maybe they need to do, things that can help them as they move forward in their business. And then the other thing that we've heard, what about getting that smaller peer group? So you can have like businesses. So maybe it's getting different restaurants together and having smaller peer groups and talking about some of those very specific challenges and successes and what are those joys that come as a part of that. So I think that's one that is really important, and we need to make for sure that we're providing that value and that help to those small businesses. Another one is advocate for businesses at all levels of government. So this is something that I think is very important as well. And it helps to increase member engagement in government activities. So something we've not really done in the past. We've not engaged in government things as much. And so we looked at this and, you know, we're really gonna be bold. And that's what part of our strategic goal is, as a chamber, is being bold and moving Jefferson City forward. And if we're gonna be bold and move us forward, what is it that we need to do? And how can we make for sure that we're doing the right things for our members? So if we look at that and we make sure that we're proactive at that local level, we've got a government relations committee, and Logan Grass has been leading that effort and does a great job. And so we bring those chamber members together to discuss what is really important. What are those things that are out there? What are the tax issues that are maybe going to be on the ballot? You know, what are those things out there that's really important to our members? And so being able to discuss that and make for sure that the chamber is hearing what our members have to say and that we're moving the direction that our members want us to move. One of the things, an example that I want to tell you about, just recently, Gaye testified over the Capitol in support of House Bill 1488, which creates 3 new tax credit programs to address Missouri's child care crisis. Obviously, child care is one of those things that's definitely an issue as we look at what is affecting our members of our community. So he was able to go over and support and testify in support of that. So I think things like that, as we get involved, are so very important, looking again at providing that value to our members. And then we want to develop a proactive chamber agenda on key community development opportunities. And so part of that is, with elections coming up, city council, maybe others, having those forums available. You know, maybe going together with other groups and providing that forum for those candidates to come together and have those discussions, and us being able to be there to listen to them and hear what is important to them as candidates, and being able to make an informed decision as a member. So I think some of those things are really, really important as well. And then enhance the ability of a talented workforce. I mean, I think this is what our members are telling us is really most important. We've got to have that talented workforce, right? I mean, it's got to go together. We've got to have the child care. We've got to have the workforce. We've got to have the housing. I mean, those are huge, huge issues. So bringing the right people together to really talk about these issues. You know, being able to support a strong public and private educational system. And then think about our youth and our young people in the community. How can they be those next people that are going to provide that workforce that we need? So really thinking about that and honing in and concentrating on that, I think, is so important. So the Workforce Coalition was created, and a group of 40+ major employers, education institutions, and public sector partners all came together. And there were teams that were formed on child care, on housing, on career awareness, and talent attraction. Looking at all these things, working with the city and the county, I mean, that is just so important that we all work together. And so as we've done that, we're looking at how can we provide that success coming out of that? Well, just bringing people together, right? Getting on the same page. So when these issues come up and those opportunities come up, make sure that we're working together, that we can move forward the direction that we need to move to make our community even stronger. One of the things that just really recently was a success was we were able to provide like a dozen childcare centers with a business partner. Kind of like we do partners in ed and working with the schools. Well, this is with those childcare centers. So really looking at that opportunity to help those childcare centers advance and to grow and to prosper. So I think that was something that was really good. And then one of the things that's going to be coming, and you're going to be seeing more about it, is a retention attraction campaign to launch the first quarter of 2024. So I want to talk just a minute about that. So I think it's so important as we look at how we can do this appropriately. And we did a marketing research project to identify what our message is and what our target audience should be. We got proposals from 4 marketing firms to build this campaign. And then we worked on a website and a lot of videos. So we went out into the community. We talked to a lot of people, hopefully, businesses around town, finding out what it is about Jefferson City that's important. What do we need? Where are we going? How can we do this? And then that first phase, then we'll focus on that retention of our Jefferson City statistical area and those counties where our work talent comes from. So we'll target them, we'll work with them, make for sure we're getting the right talent here in place that we need. And then following that, as it grows, we will then broaden that and work more, even more, to make sure that that talent is in place. And I know you're thinking, okay, where are we gonna put these workers, right, as we bring them in? And housing is an issue, but that's one of the things we thought, we've got to start working on getting that workforce in place. And I know there's groups that are now working on housing, and there's some projects and things that are moving forward. I think we've got housing moving in the right direction as well. And so those will come together, I hope, nicely as we continue to make Jefferson City stronger. You guys can stop me if you need any time. I talk a lot and I talk fast too, so sorry about that. So here's one that I think is really important. This is where I'm suggesting even some changes and some just more opportunities as we move forward. I mean, champion the competitive advantages of diversity, equity, and inclusion. You know, we have to provide value to our current members as we talked about, but we also have to attract new chamber members. And we have to really try to attract those that maybe have not had that opportunity in the past to be a chamber member. Really thinking about how we can be inclusive for our chamber. Because if we're going to be representing our community, we have to look like our community, right? And we have to think about what are those needs in our community. And so how can we really do that? So one of the things that we've been doing is working with the Minority Business Council. Lauren Carter has been leading that effort and has really done a great job. And she's provided some networking events, she's provided other events, really looking at how we can network, how we can really make sure that we're all working together for the good of everyone, right? And then one thing that I think is really, really exciting, we awarded chamber membership scholarships to 12 minority-owned businesses. And there's 3 banks that sponsored, and one of them sitting here, that they sponsored, and, you know, thanks to those banks for doing that. I think it's really, really important to get the minority involved and really to welcome them. And this year, we're going to make sure that we're going to mentor them even more, to get involved, make sure that they have those opportunities. You know, when you think about being a new chamber member, it's kind of intimidating, right? I mean, coming into the chamber, you know, even going to the networking events, you know, we find that we gravitate to those we're comfortable with, that maybe we haven't seen for a bit, and that's who we're talking to, right? But we've got to make sure that we're welcoming and that we're inclusive to all. And so if we can have some mentorships available that really work with those new to the chamber that are coming in, take them to maybe one of the new events, get them involved, introduce them to people. I think it's going to be easier for some of the new members coming in. So those are some of the things I think that's really important too, that we need to work on. And then one of the things that I'm really, really excited about, Janet's here, Ashley's here, I'm trying to think, Jackie's here. We've been working on a women's symposium. And so this is something just, I mean, it wakes me up at 5 o'clock every morning thinking about, you know, new things and ideas and how can we do this. And when we first got this great group of, started as women, and Gary was our lone guy, but we were starting to talk about this. I mean, we were all over the board, right? We wanted to be everything to everybody. You're gonna help us as well. And so we started looking at this and we thought, okay, when do we want to do this women's symposium? We want to do it in March because that is Women's History Month. And so we thought, okay, that's when we're going to do it. We've got our date now. It's March 20th at the Capitol Bluffs. But we thought, why do we want to do this? What is our goal? Why do we want to do this? And so, you know, we got to talking as women, and women really try to be everything to everybody while still trying to advance their career, right? And so there's a bit of chaos sometimes in women's lives as we're looking at different things. I see you smiles. Our theme is going to be investing in her, capital H-R, controlling the chaos. And so I think that's so important, really, to help women understand that it's okay to be a woman, right? We bring a different set of skills to the workforce than men, I think. Not good or bad, but I think we bring a different set of skills. And it's important to help women understand the resilience that we see, that we face, the tenacity that we have. but really to help women look at how to be intentional as they're growing their careers, as they're developing their careers, as they're going out into the world. I mean, be intentional, because we all know if you're not intentional with something, life passes you by, right? So really helping them be intentional. And this symposium is going to have some great speakers. You'll hear more on that as it comes out. We're going to have a couple of panels where there will be women that, you know, have been successful. They've made it, right? And listening to them and maybe things that they wish they would have done a few years back, as opposed to what they would do now. And so thinking about that, and then also having some small business leaders that are there and talking about how they succeed and how they control the chaos as they move forward. So I'm just really excited about this. It's not just for women though, it's also for those that support women. So again, you guys are all invited.
And she just made it a mandatory thing.
But it's about working together, right? It's how we can work together and really understand the complexities of life and business a lot of times. And so that's really what we're looking at. So the save the date will be going out soon, as will the invitation then to hopefully join us at the symposium. So we're really excited about that. We'll be looking for sponsors on that as well. That'll be good. And then I wanted to talk about strengthening membership engagement and the Chamber's financial integrity. You know, we've already talked a lot about that value. And I have to say, you know, I think before I got involved at this level, you know, I thought about the Chamber and I thought about, okay, events such as this, the gala, you know, the Chamber barbecue, all those types of things that are great opportunities because it provides that networking opportunity. If we didn't have that networking opportunity to sit down and talk to each other, we wouldn't make the connections. We wouldn't further our business like we do, right? We've got to learn about each other to make sure that we know what everybody offers and how we can support each other. But I never really thought about all these goals that I'm talking about, how they really provide that value. And so as we're thinking about even reaching out to others to be Chamber members, don't forget all these things that I'm talking about that add value as well, that maybe we don't think about as much. But we've got to have that strong engagement. And so what does that mean again? That means targeted recruitment. We've talked about that already, and retention. And I've talked about that as well, because you've got to be able to retain your members. We've had some membership blitzes in the past couple of years, right? And a lot of times we'll get new members, they'll join because, you know, somebody, Stephanie, will ask them, and then we'll join as a friend to Stephanie. But then maybe they don't really get involved like they should, when it comes to time to renew their membership. They're like, well, I don't see the value, and that's one of the things that I don't really think I should continue to be a member. So we've got to make sure and do a good job of helping those members stay engaged and showing them that value. And then that mentorship that I talked about, really being able to help them out to some of these events that we have, introduce them to people, and be that friend to them, I guess, so to speak, at first, to get them to join. So that's just something else I have to say. As you're going to these events, I challenge each of you, look around and find one new thing of somebody that you don't normally see at these events, and go up and introduce yourself. I think that will help everybody be much more inclusive, and it will strengthen our membership as well. So do that. And then I think I've gotten ahead of myself. So I'm going to turn it over and talk about questions. I talked at you a lot, so I apologize for that. But I would like to hear any questions that you have about what I talked about. But also, I'd like to hear from you too. I think it's really important to hear from our members as far as what's valuable to you. What do you see that is most important to you? Why are you a Chamber member? But what could we be doing more of or better? And then how can we make the Chamber's membership more valuable? So I'm going to open it up, see what anybody has.
I'll comment. I'm a member of a chamber. I'm Jeff City, state of Missouri, and the U.S. Chamber. And it seems like at this level, there's more engagement, and obviously there's reasons. You hear more things and that sort of thing. As you get to the state level, you know, you hear from them yearly, hey, we need, or your dues are due. What can we do to help you? And then you don't hear from them again till the end of the next cycle. And the same with the U.S. Chamber. I'm getting frustrated that, you know, is my money being used to the best possible way, especially on the U.S. national level? I'm a member of all of them yet. I'm seriously thinking about maybe dropping that. And I hate to be that way because I know as a group, as a whole, we have to fight for businesses across the U.S. So being involved and engaged and having the information out there at this level is very important. And if you're not involved here, how do we hear that or see that? And I know myself, this is the first time I've been in this building, and that's my fault. But I think we need to let everybody know and say, hey, my money's being used for this, this, and this.
Well, thank you for that, and thank
Yeah.
you for being here this morning, I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. And we value your business as well, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it's so important that we work together, but, no, I think you're absolutely right. I mean, as you're talking to others as well in the community, you know, you helping them to understand what value we add, how they can get involved to make us even stronger, because if we don't have that strong chamber, we don't have as strong a community as we should. If the chamber's not working with the city and the county and others, you know, it's hard to move us forward. So I think we all have to work together and have the same agenda, so to speak, as we, you know, move forward and grow.
Okay. I just want to share from my perspective, you know, I think there's something, I thank you for your leadership, okay, and your vision. To be said about personal accountability in the chamber and your, you know, sign up for these memberships. And then we get emails from Ashley and Susan, and we can either choose to delete them, or you put them in our calendar and show up. And I will tell you, in my own personal experience, the more I put into showing up, the more I got out of my membership. I'm not being out of my own personal pocket, Mr. Greg Thompson here to take care of that. But the depth of which the relationship that I share with Janet and all the people around the people are much stronger and deeper today and wouldn't be that without the chamber. Because the chamber events, yes, I see these faces at different community events, but I see them mostly involved with chamber events. And so I do encourage that message. You know, you get, the more you get out of it, the more you involve yourself in it, the more.
It's a good message, Ashley, thank you, appreciate that.
Well, I'm really thankful for the support that the chamber gives to YP. You know, we set our goals based off of what the chamber goals are. So one of our goals this year is to get to 300 YP members. But we can't do that without your guys' support. You know, we have to get people on the front lines, and I'm thankful that Central Bank did the initiative to sponsor us as members of YP. We actually had to sign a contract with our employers, and that's one of the plans for the Chamber YP group is to get more businesses on that same team. So when we reach out to you, please welcome us with open arms, because no offense, but I think I'm the youngest person in this room. And that's hard for you guys to grow and, you know, welcome younger people if you're not welcoming them with the YP program first. So.
Well, I was able to talk to the YP, was that last week?
Yes.
And so there was what, like 40, 50?
It was one of our biggest meetings we've had in quite a while. There were almost 50 people.
And it was great. You know, I was able to talk about the passion and their leadership. And if we don't have our youth coming up and taking over and working into these leadership spots, that's not gonna be good as well. So they provide so much value, and I know they do so much in the community. So thank you all for what you do.
Gaye was in the comment that you're.
Oh, sorry, yes, sir.
I just had some ideas and thoughts. I don't know, go out there and, I definitely agree with, a little more into it. Like myself, I missed a lot of movies and things like that. So that's one thing I want to strive to do, just put more in the chamber as well as the minority business council. And, I too would love to see more, young faces here. I believe it is, a lane open for young people to start businesses in today's economy and society. A lot of young people are doing more creative as they go on. And I think that they don't always have the knowledge, as far as what it takes or, just getting started on opening a business. So something like maybe an event, perhaps something like an open house to invite and welcome more, just people throughout the community, not necessarily young people, but definitely, young people, just all people to open house event. And they can meet with like chamber members and get questions answered on more about the chamber and how it works and what we do. And so I think, inviting people in for open house would be very just people in the community.
I really appreciate you coming in your comments. So we continue to do like a networking. And because we've sponsored some, the Minority Business Council, we work together, we've done some different things, but maybe make it more targeted.
Yeah,
And
targeted.
things like that.
Yeah, people that we wish to serve.
Okay, thank you, appreciate that. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, yeah, I have to follow up because, I've been here 7 times, but I made a conscious decision not to join the chamber. And because I'm always with all the people in the chamber and other walks of life, whether it's on the school board or just showing up as a lone black ranger in events. So I mean, I was comfortable with that because it was my husband, he knew so many of the people. And so therefore I came. And I told people I'm an outsider, I'm St. Louis. I didn't intend to say I was for alliance, I'm not from here. And so the reality is, the thing that made me commit is when Gary started with Lauren, the minority, or part of the chamber. That's an outreach initiative that has said, well, why not join? And so since, and I maybe had the money back then, but $350, that's a big investment if you don't feel that you're engaging with the people that are in the chamber. So I appreciate what you said. We have to outreach just to get true engagement, but we also have to remember where we live. And if you don't see that engagement on a daily basis in your workplace, in your social setting, it's difficult to do that with people of color or sometimes with women, and women are different. So I mean, I appreciate that we need the outreach of the young man here, still younger people. I'm gonna say everybody, because a lot of women and a lot of people are still with them. I still work, I'm still fighting. And I feel like the chamber is the community. And so therefore we have to take that go into our role home. To really start engaging where we can make that age. And then it's where we have to have an excellent school district. And we have an excellent career center. There is no entrepreneurship should not be there and the leadership of the school. And therefore you're getting something, I think just like I could open my eyes at this beyond 70 age. That's what I need to join the chamber. Because I think the chamber gave them the commitment, but now we have to make sure, what does this minority thing really mean? Is it just like a check off box, or does it mean we're doing something from our hearts? That's difficult to do when we have different cultures, because different cultures have certain type of industry. And so I admire this young lady, you started your own business with shirts. Yeah, and so, it's a struggle. And I call it the journey is a struggle, whether you start a business or you're just living from day to day. And I think the chamber can be a really leader in the city. And not that we're moving backwards, but I think we need to stand still. So that's just not just something, I hope that didn't offend anyone, but I think that's a great opportunity.
Jackie, I think you're spot on. I mean, we've got to make for sure that we're being that very inclusive, and that's one of the things I think we want to really look at this year. How can we be more inclusive? Because if we don't look like our community, the makeup of our community, our chamber, we're not gonna grow. And so I value your comments and I value your leadership. So thank you for always being there and speaking up and engaging. So thank you for that. I think it's so important.
I just have 3 comments.
Oh, introduce yourself, just because you stepped in late. Oh, good.
Hello, my name is Julius King. I actually want to make a comment on the why section, right? And what we're speaking about engagement. I want to be engaged, and I'm sure a lot of people want to be engaged. Now, I'm not just speaking for my community, but when you're a solo business owner and you're doing marketing, you're hitting the street, you're performing your job, it's difficult to be engaged. And so I appreciate you all for having that understanding as we move forward and try to get more people engaged. But as we do that, some people won't be able to be as engaged as other people. That's all I
And obviously, that is so true with small businesses. I mean, I can only imagine, I talked about that just a little bit at the beginning, what you've got on your plate day in and day out, and totally understand that. But that's where these other values that maybe where you don't have to be as engaged, we're still providing that value to you, hopefully making your business stronger because we're making the community stronger and we're providing that talent and the housing and, you know, moving forward and working together. So hopefully you see the value, even though maybe you can't be as engaged as what you'd like. But we'd love to have you engaged as much as you can be.
Well, that's the first part. I see the value. I'm there. I'm there. It's just that sometimes it's difficult for me to allocate that time to see that value.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Totally understand that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yes, sir, Bob.
Yeah, I was thinking earlier, I began thinking, I might be one of them people. I guess. Thank you for making me dig in, Dory. When I think of the value of the chamber, I'm kind of shifting gears here a little bit. I got involved a long time ago. I was pretty young. I ended up being the chair of the board, I don't know, a long time ago. And
You were one of those great leaders back then.
Involvement is what gave the value for sure. So I mean, we made that statement from earlier, I think. But the other thing I started realizing as I chaired it, and I realized all the chamber does is that my $350 is worth it if I didn't even engage at all. And so one of the things I guess I value most is I call it the government relations and the influence and advocacy in our community. I think about a year ago today, we didn't know, where we'd go with some housing projects, and now we do. If a group like this does not engage at the community government level to influence things in the right direction, you get stale. And things change in a year, and I guess we need to credit our government leaders as well for stepping up and realizing where things should go, but the chamber helps influence that. And that's what $350, if I never said another word, got involved in last year at all, right there. So I just want to make sure we think about the value that's there, maybe behind the scenes. A lot of people don't like to get involved in the government relations side of things, and it's so necessary to influence things in the right direction. So, I wanted to share that's worth $350, like that to me without even getting involved. And there's so much more, value when we get involved.
Appreciate that, Bob. Thank you. Rudy.
Yeah, I just want to follow up on that. The role that the chamber plays in legislature is very important. Everybody has their own interests. NIDA is there, chamber's there. And you have to have a balancing act to hear both sides of it. The other thing that I find in the chamber is anything, that's what I don't, not as great on the internet as it should be, but networking, I mean, that's not always so I have to explain. When I need something, I know who to call. If I need something like a businessman over here does something, that's who I call. With the bank, I know who to call, with the bank, I know certain people. And that's the most important part. I don't network too much on the internet, everything, but I see people up here, they're in a business, I have that need, that's what I go to, and it just creates, you personalize, it is so much easier to have a network. Unfortunately, my phone's all dying around me, so I need to do network.
You don't know why he needed, why he wasn't open. And trust me, there is no age limit because Kevin Fick, who's with Jefferson Bank, he comes to our YP meetings. So, you know, we say 20 to 40, but Kevin just ignores that.
Rudy, thank you for those comments. I think that is so very important. I mean, I've networked in my business and in the community and with so many things that just having those contacts, those go-to people and allowing them to come to me as well. So I think it's so important. Thank you. Are we going to, I don't know what kind of meeting.
Comment back on small businesses. A few years ago, I organized a small business improvement group to get small business owners together and more networking sharing. And as I was organizing the group, I came to Sean Sampson, who was working with the chamber at the time, and said, I don't want to step on any toes, this is what I want to do. And he said, no, you're not stepping on toes. And he said something to me that sticks with me to this day. He said, small businesses cannot get enough help. He said, sounds great, do it. And we did, it was great. I just thinking about that, small businesses cannot get enough help. I was truly upset. You wear a lot of hats, you're busy, but when we can get resources together, somebody who's good at marketing, lends some help, or the business mentoring program, get a business plan, a business partner, lending that experience and helping small businesses in that way. Just manage the thing, it's huge.
Absolutely. Great. Thank you. Thank you for your comments. Yes, sir.
One thing I just want to throw out there, just, busy. I think we all should do themselves in business.
That's a great idea. You, have you got involved in leadership Jefferson City yet?
Leadership Jefferson City.
You need to get it. I don't know if the roster's been filled this year yet or not, but that's a great opportunity. I did that a few years back. And there were places that I visited, I had no idea was here in Jefferson City. So that's a great opportunity, leadership Jefferson City. But I think we ought to think about that as much as we can, how we can visit it. Maybe with a small business group that I was talking about, maybe some of those peer-to-peers. We could do some things like that as well. So that's a great comment. Thank you.
And YP does behind the scenes. So every quarter we go to a different chamber business and go behind the scenes and see the in and outs of that. So Ashley sends that on the calendars as well. So you're welcome to come join us for that.
All right.
YP is another great group. I mean, your chamber members, like $30 in addition, I think is what it is. Yeah.
Yes. Great conversation. Anybody else? Want to make sure we have time.
Maybe one last comment, a lot about small business, it's actually we're clearly not small business. We talked about, you mentioned about 50 people, the average employee. We need to add 100 to 200 people this year. Right, we're over 1,100 of those now, so we need a strong community to be kind of the anchor in this space. And I think everybody, a lot of folks benefit from having a strong, large number. And we're in a market dynamic now that's not going to slow down. And we see this in the space as well. We can't grow fast enough in that space. So comments to Gary over the last 2 years that we have to find a way to grow faster. Because as a corporation, you always want to return on investment. Our corporation community to invest in this community, we need to start seeing a return on it. And it's been a struggle. We need a more talented workforce at all levels, whether it be somebody that's willing to work second shift with both, or whether it's an engineer or someone working in sales, it's the whole game. And we're making progress, but just not at the speed. Ashley and I talked about our involvement with the chamber and what the chamber can do for us. I feel like many times we can do more for this group than what we get back, and we're more than willing to do that. But what we need is more housing. We need better childcare, right? We need a community to grow. And I think it's a great thing, right?
it's just too small. Right, it's too small to meet the needs we need of a manufacturing workforce. We're excited about where we go, but we speed of change is critical. So anything we can do to help, we're more willing. So Ashley's done it for us for a couple of years now, and you see us around town and need more. Especially we just filmed a new commercial. Because we need folks that are committed to being successful. Appreciate all the support we get, and anything we can do to help, we're more than welcome.
And we really appreciate all your support and what you do for the community, the chamber, and United Way, and everybody. You guys are great partners. And you make a great product that Ameren, Missouri needs. To be able to serve our consumers and keep things electricity reliable. So we definitely need to keep you here and keep you growing. So it's very important.
Before we move on, is there anybody that's joining us online that wants to unmute and share a comment or a suggestion? Anybody on Zoom like to unmute?
This is Jesse. I mean, all I can say is the meeting has been very educational and useful. Thank you.
Jesse from Growth Coach of Columbia.
The only one.
Okay. All righty, Gary, I turn to you. Maybe you have some closing comments?
Just one thing, I know Gaye talked a little bit about our talent attraction, retention project we've been working on. We got some publicity this week on that. We're gonna launch that sometime in the first quarter of this year. We have some partners on board, including the city, the county, JC Rep, Convention Bureau, the school district, Board of Realtors. And we've raised $70,000 of the $85,000 we need for this first phase. The chamber putting up about 60% of that money, and the other partners are coming in with the other 40%. We're very optimistic. We're excited about the website and video that we've already seen spent produced to be a part of this attraction effort. And I think it's going to be our attempt at least to take the first step towards meeting Hitachi and other employers' needs, small and large, in this community. There's just not, the entire country is suffering from a labor shortage right now. And we want to just do our very best to see if we can have some impact on our local community and region. So look for some more information on that. I'm really looking forward to rolling that.
Thanks, Gary. We've got a great leader in Gary and all the staff here at the chamber, so I give them a round of applause. Say thank you to each of you for being here. Please reach out to me if there's anything I can do to help or work together with you. Please reach out, and I look forward to seeing you quite a bit here as we move forward. So thank you.
Any member announcements? Quickly, anything you would like to share? Round robin. Darby? Anybody?
I'll share real quick. As you know, Councilman Commercial Branding, we do shirts at the new year. We started off with a new shirt promotion, shirts and sweatshirts. In January, we can do 4 game shirts, one color, one location, for $7.99 each outdoor. Sweatshirts for $6.99, 40. If we can combine and do 100 piece quantity for $6.99 for shirts and $15.99. If you're interested, let me know. I'm more than happy to help out.
Hey, in case the phone didn't go off 15, 20 minutes ago, JC schools are shutting down 3 hours early, so.
Okay.
I thought of something. I was thinking it's too far out, but it's actually March 4th. So our relay rally, so the kickoff of the Relay for Life in Polk County, which is in June, but in March, on March 4th at NH Shepherds, it's an open house, 4 to 6:30 to come by and check us out. Doesn't obligate you to anything, but check us out and get involved.
Anybody else? Oh, yeah, Graham.
We have people January 19th to January 21st. So the 19th is the grand opening day, pop-up shop, and then the 19th, and then the 20th is a fashion show, and then 21st is a brunch and pop-up shop.
And the location you haven't seen is right on Westwood Party. Many of you, well, sorry. Many of you don't have it, so you see it, you might not realize that you were seeing is shocking.
No, we were talking about trying to figure out where your shop was
Yeah.
located.
Like this. Very good. Anybody else announcement? Yeah.
Evening Rotary, Scott Plumo, coming up in February, we're still setting the date, either February 10th, February 17th, right next door.
All right, go.
Night to Shine From, is February 9th. There's still time to sign up if you want to help with that. It's a great night where we give back to our, disabled community and give them a time of their lives. So it's gonna be a lot of fun this year.
That's the 10 too.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. I know we had a great conversation. Anybody online? Right meeting. Right.